Iraq's eternal problem, security, more specifically, a lack of it. A recent spike in violence across the country has been blamed on Iraq's near neighbours. Syria has been accused of sheltering former Iraqi Baathists thought to be behind the August attack on the Baghdad Foreign Ministry that killed 90 people. The Syrians too implicated in the flow of foreign fighters across the border, although Iraq and the Americans admit that these numbers have fallen. Another neighbor, Iran, has been accused by Washington of funding, arming and training various armed groups operating inside Iraq, mainly Shia militias and specialist squads, whose apparent mission are to keep the country destabilized. In all, 6 countries border Iraq. Iran to the east share the longest common border at 1,458 kilometers. Saudi Arabia to the west shares an 814-kilometer long border. Syria to the west shares a 605-kilometer frontier. Turkey to the north, 352 kilometers. And finally Jordan, 181 kilometers, and Kuwait, 240 kilometers. Iraq has been in the throes of violence since the American-led occupation 6 years ago in 2003. Bombings and murders occur on a regular basis, and although the overall rate has fallen, there's been an increase in violence in the last 6 months. And that violence, says Baghdad, is fermented abroad.
We will not allow any country to intervene in our issues. We consider it a red line. We will review our relations with any country that doesn't respect the sovereignty of Iraq.
The Americans, who earlier this year pulled their troops back from Iraqi major cities, maintain the situation is under control.
I think, although there were horrific attacks on the 19th of August, I still see overall security as continuing to be stable here in Iraq.
But in the last few days, a bomb attack in Fallujah killed 8 people. Another attack in Haditha killed 6. And in the north, the city of Mosul is now considered one of the most dangerous places in Iraq. And according to Iraqi police, more than 1,100 people were killed in Baghdad during the months of July, August and September. Iraq continues to build up its security and armed forces. They will have to take over completely once the Americans pull out combat troops for good in August 2010 and all troops in 2012. For now, Iraq knows it's impossible to police and patrol more than 3,600-kilometer border with its many neighbors. Instead, they have to rely on improving relations with those countries and get them to help ensure Iraqi security. Omar Al-Saleh, Al Jazeera.